Gene, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
My name is Gene. I manage the pediatric clinic in Mikal. Thanks for pediatric clinic.
Gene, this is Ruby.
Hi, I'm Ruby Martinez. I'm with the food bank of the Rio Grande Valley.
And this is Nina. Say hi, Nina. Nina, you're actually a dietitian.
Yes, I'm a registered dietitian and Facebook runner today. Nice to meet everybody.
For anyone that's interested in our future classes, all you have to do is like us on our Facebook page right here, and you can grab a seat with one of us for next time. Jordan.
Hello, my name is Jordan Rodriguez. I run a radio station and digital sound team.
Okay, guys, we're actually going to go ahead and get started. So if all of you will circle around the table right here.
Let's do it. Really
Take that picture. Today what we're going to be making, guys, is we have a mango teriyaki chicken and a coconut ginger shrimp. And we're going to be preparing those on skewers. Today we want to highlight outdoors, the outdoors of Texas. It's summertime and it's hot, I know it is. But what we want to highlight is some great fun outdoor recipes that you guys can do at home. Whether it be in your own backyard, on the beach, or in a park. These are things that are pretty mobile. You can do anywhere with just a grill and a nice cooler. You can do this anywhere. The recipes for this Staycation Day event will be available online following today's farmers market. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is, Ruby, I'm going to have you go straight into there. The little side room here, and in the refrigerator you'll find a container of shrimp and a container of chicken. Gene, if you want to help her out with that. And the first thing that I want you guys to do is I'm going to have, I got two jobs for you guys. We need green onions cut, and we have ginger that we're going to run in through the blender for sauce. Who wants what? Okay. Okay, so Nina, we're going to put you on the ginger. What we have here is actually fresh ginger root. Let's smell that. That's fresh ginger. Really nice, really flavorful, a little bit of spice to it. It's more of an Asian ingredient, but more and more you see chefs using this. It's got a lot of health benefits, particularly with digestion, energy and focus. Ginger is actually really good for you. We're going to go ahead and take this top off. And we're going to dump all of that ginger right in there. And Ruby, I'm going to have you go ahead and start cubing up the chicken. The shrimp I'm going to keep on this cutting board, and that way we don't cross-contaminate. You never want to mix raw meat with cooked foods. Or the other thing you want to avoid is mixing different types of meat. You never want meat touching chicken. You don't want chicken touching, your seafood or shrimp. So we're going to go ahead and keep all of these on separate cutting boards. I'm going to have you chop cilantro over here, or you know what? You can chop it on this cutting board. I'm going to use it yet. And if you want to grab the green onions, what I want is on pieces, because what we're going to do is we're going to use these green onions directly on the skewers. So if you'll leave that rubber band on, you can go ahead and just chop pieces like this, and that'll be for the skewers. So if you go ahead and chop those, and then, yes, both bunches, and you can put that right in there. The ginger, once it's done, I want you to scoop it out into this little bowl, and I'm going to we'll go ahead and just hit chop on that. And then the cilantro. stand up and come with me. I can introduce you to some of our vendors if you like. If not, we're going to come right back to here. But this is Matt. Matt's actually the CEO of the Mission Chamber here. Say hi, Matt. But, ginger at home? No? Well, you can find ground ginger in your spice aisle there at the supermarket. And that works great for flavor. But what I like to use is the fresh ginger. And what I'm going to do with this is, like I said, we've run this through the food processor. So we have, a minced ginger here. And we're going to make ginger water. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to dump that out straight into a clean cloth towel. And what's going to happen is all of the juice, the natural juice from this root, is actually, we're going to extract that. So I'm going to just move this blender so you guys can see me. Can you put that for me? It's a very simple technique to extract liquids out of vegetables. We're just simply going to squeeze that into this pot and see all that liquid's coming out. And this is just concentrated ginger extract. And again, that's fresh. So that's going to have a really great flavor on it. So you guys can see all that juice is coming out. So that's going to give a very strong, pungent ginger flavor. Have a little bit of spice, a little bit of snap to it. And we're going to actually use that. We're putting that right into coconut milk. And you can find coconut milk in cans at the grocery store pretty much anywhere. It's a little bit of coconut milk. We just added the ginger. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder in here. Just a little bit. We don't want to overdo it with the garlic. I have a little bit of roasted coriander. And again, all of these you can find in your spice aisle. Roasted coriander, and a little bit of black pepper. And with just a squeeze of a few fresh limes, this sauce is just about ready to go. We're going to go ahead and pick the heat on this. Who's ever used made a sauce on the grill, outdoor barbecue? Never done it? All you've got to do that is you can take a saucepan like this, frying pan, or any other pan that you have, and you can put it directly on the grill. So it's the same as putting it on your stove top. You've got the heat underneath, and it's going to cook whatever you have. So if you want to make barbecue sauce directly on your grill, if you want to make a sauce like that, you can do that. So what I'm doing here is I have the coconut milk that's pretty seasoned, and we're just going to let that rest with the spices. Let it reduce down a little bit. So I'm going to heat that about, start it on a high heat. Once it starts to bubble, then I'm going to cut it down to a medium, and that way it doesn't boil over. How's that chicken doing, Ruby? Awesome. We're actually going to put this cilantro into a little bowl right here and set that aside for right now. And, Gene, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you start skewering some of the shrimp using some of these green onions. And Jorge, if you like, you can actually give him a hand over here. Nina, I'm going to have you keep an eye on the sauce so it doesn't blow over on us. So gentlemen, if you want to come over here on that side. Now there's a trick to doing kebabs or any type of grilled skewer. You always want to make sure that you soak those in water, and that way when you put them directly on the grill, the bamboo doesn't begin to burn. So you just want to take one of the skewers, put a shrimp on it, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to come in through the fat end of the shrimp and just tuck the short end in. So we're going to have a curled shrimp on that. And that way it doesn't come off or fall apart on us. We're going to put one of those down. And then we're going to grab a piece of this green onion. And we're going to stick that right on there too. So this is what we're doing right here, folks. I like to use green onions with skewers, or any type of onions. Really, I find that when you grill an onion, you get that sweetness to start coming out, the caramelization, is really nice. I don't know that I've ever done a skewer, a grilled skewer, without putting onion on it somewhere. I'll put tomatoes, I'll put peppers. Just right here on the tip, we'll put, the same is starting to smell good over here. I think that might be me. No, it's not. It's not. Maybe I should. But we're just going to put like 3 shrimp on here, guys. And I've got a little bit of cilantro on my hands, which has gone directly on the shrimp, but that's okay. It's just a little extra flavor. So if you guys will go ahead and do that, Ruby, are you done with that chicken? Awesome. Then we're going to go ahead and start some chicken skewers as well. So you can go ahead and leave those on. Actually, it's the same task. So what I was telling Ruby is that she can actually keep those gloves on. Because she's going to continue handling chicken, there's no need for her to change gloves. So you're going to do the same process. You're going to put a few chunks of chicken. If they're big, put 1. If they're small, put 2 or 3. And then an onion. Nina, how's this looking? We're seeing the coconut is starting to bubble up from the center. You're beginning to see the movement in the coconut. What we're wanting to do with that is it's going to be a creamy sauce with the coconut milk. We're wanting to reduce it down a little bit so it's thick, just thick enough to glaze the coconut. Because again, that's going to go on the grill. Anytime you're grilling with a sauce that you're basting over what you're grilling, if it's too watery, that's just going to slide right off and it's going to go into the fire. A sauce like that is great for the marinades, but if you're going to put it directly on the grill, you do want it a little bit thicker. So if you ever get like a marinade from the store, like out of a jar, what you can do is you just put it in a pot like this, cook it a little bit, and it will actually begin to reduce and thicken. You know, if you have it running on the heat for a while and it's not thickening, there's different things you can do. What I like to do in a recipe like this is I'll actually add a little bit of sugar. And what happens with that is when the sugar begins to heat, it will actually caramelize. So it will actually turn the sauce a little bit darker, but it will actually thicken the sugars, will accelerate and help the sauce actually reduce a little bit faster for us. So that's it's gonna be the sauce for that. The teriyaki sauce, I already I've taken the liberty of making already. What this is I took 2 bottles of the store-bought teriyaki sauce, and I put that in a pot just like this one with mango. And what I did is I took the mango, I peeled it first, sliced it off the stone or off the pit, and I took the meat of the mango, put it directly into a blender, mince that really fine, and then cook that with the teriyaki sauce. So you have the teriyaki sauce and the mango, so you have the mango teriyaki sauce. Nice and easy, right? So this is, the coconut's just about ready. I see the shrimps moving along pretty quickly. Let me grab some gloves and I'll jump in here with you, Ruby, and we will get that started. You guys look pretty hungry. You guys hungry? I feel like we're neglecting. You go ahead and turn this grill on so we can start seeing that. If you feel the urge to touch this, go. So again, this is the mango teriyaki chicken. I'm going to pull out some samples for you guys. You guys can go ahead and feel free to reach out and grab some food for yourself. shut. Nina, how's that sauce looking? Is it thickening enough? Okay.
You don't see me pause very much. Ruby. Hey, Karina. How are you?
You're very welcome. Enjoy, guys. Guys, how is it? So again, guys, the recipe for all of this will be typed out in detail and will be online at the Mission Staycation page. And that's on Facebook. And again, that's how you get added to the drawing for a seat at the chef's table. So if you want to be doing what these guys are doing, that's the way to do it. That's the ticket to your success. Make you famous. So right about now, that coconut sauce should just be about finished. It's okay. We're actually going to put that sauce directly on the grill with the shrimp, so it's going to cook a little bit more also. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and start putting the skewers onto the grill here. And you guys can put a little bit more on each skewer if you want. Now, because I'm using a flat top grill, I want to make sure that there's a little bit of oil to make sure that it doesn't stick directly onto the grill. If you're using, a regular outdoor grill, you might want to do the same thing. Every grill is a little bit different, but if your grill has a tendency to stick, what you can do is you can take a small bowl with a little brush, they make brushes for the grill brush, and what you can do is you can actually put a little bit of olive oil in a bowl and then brush that directly onto your meat to keep it from sticking directly onto the grill. If you guys ever have problems with that, that's a quick fix for it. If you're doing it inside, if you're doing it in a saute pan, you might not want to go with the skewers simply because they'll sit over the edge of the pan and you won't have them sit flat. You'd be better off, just putting it into the pan to add with a little bit of oil and, doing it that way. So these are already on the grill. Like I said, these are going to take a little bit of sauce a little bit later. I'm going to cook these about halfway before I add the sauce. The reason being because the sauce has a lot of sugar. It's going to begin to burn a little, which is fine. That's, it's desired. I want that caramelization because it's going to get a little bit of color and extra flavor, a little bit of crunch. So that's good, but that's going to come a little bit later. The way I know how far the chicken is cooked is I'm actually looking for an opaqueness. So the chicken will start to work its way up the edges of the chicken. If I have a whole chicken breast and I put it in a saute pan, then I would actually watch the color as it came up. And once it gets about a quarter inch up the sides of the chicken, then I'm going to flip it. Because then I know it's cooked about halfway through. So with these, because they're smaller pieces of chicken, they're going to cook a little bit. And please remember, guys, when you grill the skewers, you want to soak the skewers before, because otherwise it will catch on fire and your skewer will end up in the grill because the food will break. It'll burn itself out. So just soak your skewers. All of these have been in a cup of water all day. So they're nice and soaked through. These are looking awesome, guys. Just going to put a little bit of salt and pepper right over the top of these. Nothing I hate more than food that hasn't been seasoned. Frustrates me. So a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to take a little set over the top. And what this is going to accomplish is the acid is actually going to help the chicken from sticking a little bit more. Who's ever heard of deglazing a pan? Deglazing anybody? A lot of times when you cook a meat or a protein, say you have a steak, salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of olive oil, and you flip that steak, you'll notice that it has that nice golden brown color on it, but you'll also notice that you have some buildup on the pan. That's all flavor. That's the flavor of the seasoning. It's the drippings of the meat. That's great stuff. I don't like to throw that stuff out. So what I do is I keep a cheap bottle of wine. I usually keep red and a white, or sometimes I'll just use like a lemon if I'm doing chicken. And what that does is it's the acid that I'm looking for. The acid from the wine and the citrus. You can use oranges. But what that will do is it will actually loosen that otherwise burnt material from the bottom of the pan. And by adding that extra liquid, you can actually throw that into a sauce. So say your meat's done, you've taken it out, you're letting it rest. You can actually make a sauce with a little bit of citrus, maybe a little bit more seasoning, salt and pepper, to make a nice little sauce that you can pour over your meats. Keep everything nice and flavorful and juicy. I think that's enough chicken for us. How hungry are you guys? Really hungry? You getting there, for sure? It's the cost of making food that smells so good is you get really, really, really hungry. But that's okay, because we're going to eat. So don't cry. Yeah, these are really like tropical, seasonal spices. There's a lot of flavor things that are going on here, so this is going to be a really great meal. Yeah, you can go ahead and take this off. I think we have enough skewers for right now. I'm going to go ahead and the chicken's going to get. I want to show this to you guys. I'm going to bring this one up front. You can see it's a little bit brown on one side, and it's starting to get opaque on the other. You guys see that? Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that one time. And if you grab the salt from right here. And Jeannie, if you grab the pepper. I'm actually going to have you guys season the other side of these skewers. So just a little bit over the top. Now it's actually the twist the top. Great. So who's been to a farmer's market before? Show of hands. Great. So the rest of you first timers? Awesome. Yeah, you know. There's a lot of benefits to farmers markets, of course. You guys are probably interested in food, right? That's probably your primary motivation. Let's talk about cost though, because right now with our economy, everybody's kind of like, well, where do I really want to spend my money? I've talked to people that, some of them kind of look at a farmer's market as a fun thing to do, but it's really more, I feel personally, more of a functional thing to do. I tell people this story. I was telling someone this story earlier. I've worked in a lot of different restaurants. Market, and I find the romaine, and I do a price check just to see where it's at, and it says $3, and I'm like, okay, $3 organic romaine. I'm like, great, it's organic, it's even better. But then I'm thinking, I need 10 heads of romaine. That's $30 worth of lettuce. Is that how much the organic, that's why it's more. And I see a little bit further down, there's more romaine. So right over there, and it's romaine, but it's not organic. It's $2. And that got me thinking. It's $1 difference between the organic and the non-organic. Where they use the pesticides. In the supermarket, that's a big difference. You're buying, if you're buying corn, okay, it's $1. But if you're buying, for a week for yourself, if you eat a lot of salads, say you're eating 5, then you're looking at, $5 more than, for the non-organic. And then I remember back to buying at the farmer's market. Organic, locally raised, romaine lettuce from McAllen, Texas, $1. So you really see the breakdown in price. HEB organic, $3. Non-organic, HEB, $2. Organic, local, $1. So, as far as like cost efficiency, I think the farmer's market is your best bet. And it always is going to be. Ultimately, at HEB or any supermarket, what you're having to pay for is shipping, refrigerated trucks, food handlers, all of these different people that you have to pay, of course, the supermarket staff. At the end of the day, there's all these different people that you're paying to get produce. When you're here at the farmer's market, the only person that you're paying is the farmer. So it's a huge price difference, and I think you guys, if you do price checks here in the market, if you check the prices of anything and then compare that to their grocery store, next time you step in, you'll be surprised how much cheaper it is to shop at a farmer's market. But I think that coconut sauce is probably about ready. We're going to go ahead and throw the shrimp onto the grill. Well, that's going to come with the shrimp is going to be with the coconut ginger sauce. Right now it's in a little bit of, just a little bit of coconut milk and oregano. So that's the only thing. It's just been sitting in a little bath of that. Probably like the last hour under refrigeration. And that's just going to, when you do marinades, you're just allowing the additional flavor to seep into the meat and flavor it, keep everything nice and tender. That sauce is not going to hurt the shrimp. So what we're actually going to go ahead and do is put a little bit of the sauce directly on there. Throw this out real quick. Now again, if you're using a grill, I would suggest using a brush. But because I'm using like a flat top here, I'm going to use a little bit of the ladle. And I'm just going to put a very small amount of this sauce directly onto the shrimp. I don't want to put too much because ultimately anything that I put onto this grill is going to drop the temperature of the grill. So I want to use a very minimal amount of liquid. I want it to evaporate and I want it to begin to burn the bottom of the shrimp. And that's going to cause a little bit of caramelization. It's going to give it a nice golden brown color. And it's going to give it a little bit of crunch and a little bit of texture. So that's ready to go. The chicken's cooking a little bit slow. So what I'm going to do is we're actually going to pour that sauce directly into here. Because this sauce is reduced enough as we need it for our purposes. What we're going to do is we're actually going to take some of the chicken off the skewer because it is cooking rather slowly on this grill, and we're going to cook it on the burner as well. So we're going to double the speed. But do any of you guys have any questions about farmers markets? About food, about organic, the difference between organic and non-organic? This market is the first Saturday of every month. Also here locally, we have the Palate market, which is once a week on Saturday mornings. And there is also, if anybody's from the Wessico area, there's also a farmer's market in Wessico. And the one in Wessico, they just moved it. It is downtown area of Wessico. It had been at Kansas and Fourth, and it was like 2 blocks away. I'm not sure specifically where it is. If anyone's ever curious get online to Facebook and type in RTP Farmers Market Alliance, and it will bring up a group page that is for all the customers of farmers markets, all of the farmers, and all of the market management teams themselves to promote all of their events, the farmers markets, the date and times, and that sort of thing. If you ever post a question about food, about produce that you've gotten, recipe requests, there's several chefs on there that would be more than happy to give you their best recipe so that they can impress you. But all of that information is available to you. So, I really recommend that all of you join that group in the staycation page so that you can have access to that. It's a really great resource for all of our customers that may have questions. Even if y'all need cooking help, it could be, 3 a.m. and you've just got home for your vacation and you're making the shrimp that you have in your freezer from 3 weeks ago, and you have nearly set your kitchen on fire and you need help. More than likely, one of the chefs is online anyway, and they'll help you. So we're there. But at this point, let me go ahead and get that pan on the fire. How many of you guys barbecue outside during the summertime? 1, 2, 3, 3.5. You guys don't do the heat or don't have grills? You have a grill? You use it pretty often? Yeah? Well, it is hot outside, I'll grant you that. But I don't think there's anything that can beat a cut of meat, poultry, or seafood that's been cooked on an open fire. I think just flavor-wise, it's just going to be superior no matter what. So I'm just going to put this chicken into this pan. You can already hear it sizzling, so this pan is going to actually get a lot hotter than this grill seems to be able to. Currently, I'm working with 2 different restaurants. One of them is actually our sponsor, or one of our sponsors, Jay's Barbecue, previously Bad Bob's from McAllen, was actually purchased by one of our vendors. Doc from Pixie Ranch actually purchased a barbecue restaurant, and I am currently working with him to rewrite the menu of Bad Bob's. So it has a new menu currently in service, and he's actually going to be doing a barbecue outfitters. So he's going to have, his beef is actually available for purchase 7 days a week at that restaurant. So anytime, you get a hankering for that Irish Dexter beef, that's available there at that restaurant for purchase. In addition to that, they're going to be selling the wood chips that they smoke their beef with in different flavors, in different woods. So if you have an outdoor grill for yourself, you can find all of the high quality ingredients, as far as gourmet woods for smoking and that sort of thing there at the restaurant, as well as the food. That restaurant, yeah, it's on Milano across from the movie theater between McCall and 2nd Street. So you can find me there pretty much any evening unless I'm here. This is my day off. But the chicken's going to go right into this pot with some of that teriyaki sauce. And that way it'll finish cooking, because I don't think we're going to make it on that flat top, to be honest with you guys. Smell that. Smell awesome. I'm jealous. I want to eat it. I think I know. It's at Jay's Barbecue, formerly Bad Bob's. I'm also working with another restaurant that has a pop-up at the Milan Tower Bank. I've actually rewritten their menu as well. So I'm kind of like working as a restaurant consultant, rewriting menus for pre-existing restaurants. Right now I'm working towards opening a restaurant of my own. So that's where I'm at. It's just, you know, but my main focus has been for the last year and a half and will continue to be the farmers markets. I opened the Alhambra Farmers Market with the executive chef there, and then the Westfield Market as well. I've been working with the market since day one, and you know, I think it's a very worthy and noble cause for our communities. It's something that is promoting our health, our awareness of, you know, of taking care of ourselves. You know, we're fighting diseases. We really are. The health benefits of organic, you know, really have no end. And you know, that's ultimately the driving force behind the people that work with markets. I find is that they really see that they're helping communities, not only economically. Yes, there's economical growth. I mean, you know, the farmers that attend the farmers markets, since we've opened ones down here, have seen, you know, increases in their business and have been able to grow their farms and what have you. And that's all well and good, but really the benefits to the health of the individual that's eating organic. I know people that eat only organic. They've told me that within about 2 weeks they begin to feel changes in their body. They describe, you know, waking up at night with, you know, after they describe everything, it's almost like withdrawal symptoms. You go into a type of withdrawal if you eat only organic, and I know that sounds like a little scary and unpleasant, but what's happening is your body's actually detoxifying. Your body is flushing out everything that should not be in your body. We're talking about pesticides, we're talking about bleach, we're talking about, you know, all of these weird antibiotics, growth hormones, genetically modified foods, all of these things that are causing, you know, all food allergies are caused by genetically modified food, with the exception of peanuts. Peanuts have a mold that naturally develops on the peanut that if you consume it in large quantities, you can become allergic to peanuts. But aside from that, every other food allergy is caused by genetically modified food. So, you know, you look at third world countries that, you know, are dirt poor and don't have the rates of cancer that we have. They don't have the rates of heart disease and diabetes and childhood obesity and autism that we have. And the question becomes, why? Why are we so sick? Why is America, you know, America's not a third world country, but we're sicker than a third world country. The question becomes, why? Can you collect the plates from the table? The question becomes why. The answer is very simple. It's genetically modified food. So the farmers market is actually fighting that. It's actually moving back towards real food. It's rebuilding our country, particularly red meat. But it's, you know, we're moving back to the grass-fed meats. We're moving back to the real meat. Grass-fed animals are, so, you know, what the chefs around the farmers market really say is that food is what we call a preventative medicine, which means it's something you take before you get sick. You know, and that's really key to our continued survival. Really, you know, as far as staying healthy, staying active, and eating what's right, what's good for you. You know, it's so vital, it's so important, and I really can't stress that enough. If you guys would like some additional chicken, there's a little bit left here, so I'll leave it out for you guys. Guys, I want to thank everyone for stopping out. Yes, chefs, thanks so much. It's been a blast. We're going to start eating. You guys have some additional chicken here for you. Thank you, guys. Some additional samples here for you guys if you'd like. You're more than welcome to help yourselves. There's additional toothpicks, cups here. Please help yourselves. And hopefully we'll see you all next month. Thanks for coming out, guys.